Guys, we are back. I'm so sorry it's been so long since we had a video. There's one more day left on the giveaway if you guys still want to enter. Discord links in the description. Um, I'm sorry I can't be more consistent. There has just been a lot of there's been like three boulders that just got thrown into my life recently. Um, and I'm just trying to navigate that stuff. It's a seasonal thing. It's not like it's going to be something that's going to permanently impact my life. It's just figuring out news about some stuff and then just stuff with family and beyond that. Uh, but I know it might sound like I'm low energy for this video. I just really want to get this out to you guys because I really care about you guys and I really appreciate all the love that you guys send me, and I really thank you guys for the thank you guys for being so lenient with me, and thank you guys for being so kind in the comments and under my community tab. Okay, today is a video I promised like a week and a half ago. Harrow with the Perigale. This is all credits to Prey. If you guys want to search his name in the Discord server and see our conversation, but he made a suggestion, which is what led to the ribbon rolling video, which may have not made a lot of sense in the moment because I didn't really fully explain it. But we're going to fully explain it in this video, with our main focus, though, being on Harrow. Keep in mind, this gun is pretty mediocre. This setup is definitely not the strongest thing you can run on him. Pretty much any other meta gun that is like hit scan or that's like a marksman style weapon is going to be like infinitely better on him, including like I mean you can even run AoE weapons, but I mean I just probably wouldn't. Uh, but yeah, I mean let's kind of get into it. So Harrow, Harrow with the Perigale, and also Harrow with the Athodai. I think we showed off the Athodai in a secondary weapon video or like a fun weapon video. I don't know. I think we'll get back to doing a couple of those. I'm super passionate about weapons, and I find that a lot easier to do. It's just I would feel bad just coming back and ignoring something that I not promised, but I said that I would upload a while ago. The Equinox videos are still in the works. Vobin's still in the works. It's not like I gave up on this stuff. It's just life got a little crazy. Life got a little crazy. So let's get into Harrow. Let's immediately start off with Harrow. Harrow's a fantastic warframe. Harrow's a really nice frame because he doesn't require a helmet in any way. Obviously, there's a pretty common one that has become evident ever since 99 came out, which 1999 came out. Sorry, 99, whatever. Ever since 1999 came out, and that would be evade. Like evade's fantastic. We are going to use that in this build, but I just want to let you guys know that you guys don't have to use evade. And there's other really interesting options too. It's just what I'm going with in this video. I know I've showed off evade a couple times, and I know that might get a little bit boring, but remember, this is kind of a double spotlight video with a focus on the Perigale as well. But I also just kind of want to show off how strong Harrow is to maybe some people that don't know that. Especially if you're not using a helminth, because that's 100% an option. We're going to get into why that's an option. Let's just get into the build immediately here. First thing you're going to notice, I am not using a helm. I mean, any Archon shards. I don't think he needs Archon shards because his one ability that has an extremely long animation, you can animation skip. And we're going to get into that. It's a pretty simple tech. It's easy. It's very easy, and I recommend you guys to do it. Okay, let's get into Harrow here. Harrow is daddy. Yes, he is. Okay, first thing we're going to notice, something that is a little bit of a common occurrence on every single build. Combat discipline. Why do we have combat discipline? Well, with evade, we're actually up to 2 abilities that heal us. So kind of feels like a no-brainer. We're just going to be healing our allies. I know it's like kind of like nothing, but in base path, this actually can be kind of decent. 20 HP per kill, and you can think about it like you're usually killing over 2 people a second if you have a really good loadout. This can actually be pretty helpful, especially for people that use health tanking, which is not really that uncommon. So I like this mod a lot. I mean, what goes super well with it? Avenger. What goes super well with self-damage and healing? Archon Intensify. This is going to be a combo that I know you guys have just seen me use, and it might be getting a little bit tiring, but I just want to keep showing it off because I do find it to be incredibly strong. We get on to Harrow's 1. Oh, gosh. I'm going to throw up, guys. We're not even going to talk about it. Disregard this build, but let's get on to Harrow's 1. Condemn. So Condemn is going to be kind of the pinnacle of your survivability and also locking enemies down on Harrow's base kit. Now, this is incredibly strong. We are subsuming it in this video because I do feel like that I don't know. Some people think evade is not good enough for squad play. I find it to be completely fine. Uh, I don't know. Like with this exact duration stat, I took a Volt to level cap Void Cascade like 4 times last week. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a personal thing. If that's a problem for you, run duration shards. Then it's like then there's no excuse. Then you have like almost 300% duration. It's gonna be hard not to keep evade up at that point. But let's say you don't want to use evade and you'd like to just do your survivability through his base kit. Well, then this is a great option. This is going to just be like an on-demand shield gate. As you guys can see, shield on hit. So when I cast my 1, it's going to just give me shield based off of how many enemies it's hitting. And you can also see it has like that spread range thing stat, which is going to be kind of like the enemies will spread to kind of left and right with the chain. So really strong. You can build up your overshields really quick. First thing you're going to notice though, like, holy crap, I have a lot of shields. And the reason why that is the case is because Harrow has one of the strongest passives in the entire game. I adore it. Doubled overshields and starting mission with max energy. Like, I just adore this, bro. This is so nice. So nice. And good news is for base path, bro, what am I saying? Base path, you would be completely fine. Just shield tanking, actually, with this one. And let's kind of show that off. We're going to use adaptation here. We're not even going to use redirection. We're just going to use adaptation with the 1. We're going to go ahead and show this off real quick. I hope I don't sell this here. So let's do like this. I mean, obviously that where this is in the sim, guys, and this is like really controlled because like I can like we're seeing, I know where the enemies are coming from. It's a little bit easier, but I mean, as you guys can imagine, this is going to be pretty easy to stay alive. I did really want to cover this ability in this video because I do find it to be incredibly strong. 90% damage reduction stacked with 50% damage reduction, which is what base shields have. 90% coming from adaptation. And massive overshield pool. Like, this is all you need. And you will be fine for so long with them. And it's really nice. Okay, why does shield matter? And why are we running redirection in this build when we have evade? So, that gets us over to our 2. So, our 2's buff duration is actually based off of our shields, not just like base duration stat. Base durations actually matters a lot less in this. So right now, I don't have like max over shields, but let's say if I were to get max over shields, I'd actually have more duration. But like, look, if I press my 2 here, it's going to drain my shields and it's going to give me a buff kind of based off of how many shields it drained. So what is that buff doing? Well, let's talk about it. So that buff is going to give us reload speed, fire rate, and lifesteal. That is so strong. Like, so strong. And then it's also giving us initial heal, which is like the number you're seeing popping up there, like 15 healed. Like that's the number you see pop up, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, the initial heal is gonna be like what heals your just base HP when you cast the ability. I'm sorry, guys. Lifesteal is the number that you're gonna see under your crosshair. Let's kind of show off what that looks like here. Show this off here. So if I shoot these guys in the head, kind of see like I'm healing. Pretty nice because I have combat discipline, but look, if you look up top right, I'm not losing health. Like, you're seeing I get damage, but I'm not actually losing health, and that's really nice. Let's get into the 3rd. So the third is kind of weird. I'm not gonna say that you need this. Okay, also let's talk about why this is so good. I'm sorry, I don't mean to move on from this so quickly. This gives reload speed and fire rate. We didn't talk about how much reload speed, guys. This is giving me on my current build almost 200% reload speed. That is literally insane. Also, 99% fire rate. That is also insane. Like, this is incredible. This is so strong. Like, this is so good. And the duration of this ability is only going to get longer if you keep the 1 on, so you can build shields yourself and get into overshield range. Let's get into Thurible. So Thurible is actually a channeled ability. Kinda. It's channeled until you stop it, and channeling is going to depend how effective it is. So I'm going to go up here. The longer I just keep my 3 out, I'm going to get more energy on kill. And this energy doubles on headshot kills. It is literally insane. If you guys look bottom right, look how much energy I'm getting. And guess what? This gives this energy to the squad, I'm almost certain. Yes, radius. It gives it to enemy. I mean, the allies in your squad. So, building range on him and going for a full support build is incredibly strong. And that is something I would probably recommend doing if you would like to do that. I mean, because he can be a really, really helpful support for him. This is a selfish build, admittedly, but going down the route where you're being more helpful to your teammates, I think, is also really rewarding as well. So that is something I would maybe go down the route of playing. This build is kind of more suited for uh, top of base content and maybe stuff like what is it called? Top of base content and stuff like level cap. Sorry, but I also just turned up the game audio a little bit. Sorry guys, that was probably pretty quiet. Hopefully it's a little louder. Um, yeah, I think that's kind of it for Thurible. It's like the longer you channel it, the more energy you're gonna get on kill, and it gives it to your teammates as well. And it has a 4 times headshot multiplier. As you can see here, we keep it on the build because why not? And it allows us to not have to build energy, which is really great. Some people like putting nourish over the 3. Uh, I fell for that trick. I don't know why anybody on planet Earth would do that. But you know what? To each their own. Whatever you want to do. Okay. Let's get into the strongest ability and kind of one of the most interesting abilities in this kit. So, let's see if we can get a full group here. Yeah, we can. So, if I press my 4, I'm going to start spinning around, and that's a pretty long ability cast, and you're not able to move. But you are fully invulnerable as long as that little duration shows up there on the right. Basically, the damage that we block with this ability is going to be converted into crit chance, and that is getting quadrupled on headshot. It's really strong, and this also is going to be for your allies. But there is a little trick that you can do with this. Uh, let's see if I can get this ability to cancel here. I'm sorry about this, guys. You can also see my radius around me that is for my 4th. Pretty interesting. I believe that's for my 4th. Or is that for my 3? I think that might be for my... That was my 3rd. Sorry, guys. So if I press my 4 and I press escape, you can animation cancel. So that's kind of where... you just press pause. You can press pause and unpause. It's really easy on console. A little bit more interesting on PC, but that just might be because of my finger situation. But yeah, this is really strong. And it can make pretty weak guns into really, really strong guns. And then also giving this to your allies is like massive. It's incredibly strong. And also, as it's saying, it's going to protect the allies too when you activate this. So that's it's basically like what on my build, 13 seconds, almost 14 seconds of invulnerability. That's really great. That's really great. So some people like using this for eidolons, the protect function. It's a little funky to me, but it was something that was done back in the day. I don't think that's at all its most useful situation now. And now it also has an augment where basically your duration, the retaliation duration, which is where you get the extra crit chance, uh, that can be now extended by getting headshot kills. Okay, let's get into our build. I'm sorry. We're kind of everywhere, guys. So, Lasting Covenant. This is like the most important one. So look. Headshot kills increase critical chance bonus duration by 3 seconds. And that scales with duration. So that's going to allow our 4th to be endless. We are still building super high duration, though, because we do want to kind of have leniency with that and with our evade. If you want to go lower duration and you're comfortable with that, that's up to you. This is kind of supposed to be really comfortable for people that think that evade is not really great in a squad standpoint. But like the 2 main stats you're going to be seeing on this build, Selfish Harrow, you're going to be seeing a truckload of duration and strength, because those are going to be the stats that are going to be buffing like everything. There is a cap for the crit chance you can get, so building a bunch of strength for Covenant kind of has diminishing returns, especially in Steel Path. So we're not really building strength for that. We're more building it for our 2. So yeah, because the fire rate and reload speed, we want to get as much of that as possible. Okay, so Why do we have redirection? So once again, redirection is going to extend the duration of penance. This is almost going to be doubling our duration, maybe over doubling. Uh, because the duration is mainly scaling off of shield here. Look, per 100 shields, you are getting 3.48 seconds of duration. And just running this mod is giving us almost, yeah, actually, over 1,300 shields. So that's just that is going to be adding 3 times 13, what, like 36 seconds? So pretty awesome. A little over that, actually. So that's really incredible to add. Also nicer because it's going to give us a longer shield gate duration. You're going to occasionally catch strays. You are an invisible frame, especially when you're running with other people. There's just a chance that you're going to get shot. Invisible doesn't mean invincible. Good news is you do have some type of invincibility built into his kit, but this isn't something you can reactivate until it goes down. So having this for that extra shield gate when you do occasionally get shot so you don't go down is nice. It is very nice. And then we kind of get on to like how we're modding these stats. So like I said, we have this, extended duration, Archon Intensify for the amazing combo we talked about earlier, Crepuscular for Evade. We've talked about Evade. I mean, headshot kills extend the duration with a max duration on this build of 34 seconds. It has a starting duration of 22.65, so like 22 and a half seconds. It's really great, and you also get health on kill, so that's going to be going in with combat discipline as well. So like, as long as you have one of these up, you're going to be getting healed and beating out combat discipline self damage. So yep, strength. Don't need to worry about the efficiency, just need to worry about energy max. Or we also get max energy at the beginning of the mission, so bringing Prime Flow is very welcomed. Very nice. We also have Narrow-Minded for that extra ability duration. So this is where it's going to be like, do you want to use something else for ability duration here? Do you not want to use Transient Fortitude? Because if you would like to be more of a support as well and keep near neutral range or maybe over neutral range, I would maybe look into changing these two mods out. We also do have continuity, though, because that is going to be extending our duration. Talk about Archon Intensify. This is going to be up literally the entire time because all the self-heal from... I mean, we've got 2 self-heal abilities, so if this isn't up, I don't know. So it's just free 60% ability strength. Definitely a guaranteed slot on this build in particular. Let's get on to... How are we doing on time, by the way? I can't see it right now. Okay, 17 minutes. We're doing pretty good. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, whatever. There we go. Okay. The Perigale. Perigale is kind of like I said, the main star of the show. This video, just like to kind of show it off. I didn't really want to show it off in the video because I'm like, this is such an absurd. Oh, this got switched back. Oops. I'm sorry about that. Oops. Okay, there we go. Okay, this build. Sorry, it got switched around. So, Prey had a question. What if we could take advantage of the 100% ammo efficiency, and with that, always have Prime Chamber activated? But if you go to Prime Chamber on the wiki, pull this up real quick, guys. I am sorry I didn't already have it up. Crash content creator. Okay, if we go down here, what you're gonna see is when used alongside 100% ammo efficiency, make sure one shot is missing from the magazine since the buff doesn't apply on a completely full one. So this kind of led us down the rabbit hole of, well, how are we gonna get this thing to always have one ammo in the magazine? We remember depleted reload. This is also really nice too because let's say the buff goes down, it means we can reload really quickly. So this has like 2 pluses. It's getting us towards that goal, but it's not close enough because this thing's based. First off, we need to get near to 100%. It doesn't really matter what the base magazine size is. This is getting us 60% of the way to our goal. A little over because I mean we can be at 90% basically. It needs to be like 95 though because this has 12 ammo capacity. And the Riven gets us the rest of the way, and that is why we rolled this Riven. It's pretty funny. Prey actually didn't really like the way it turned out. He thought it was going to be stronger. I don't know what he was expecting. He used it on sight, and the neutralizer is definitely just a stronger weapon. But this is the Riven I ended up with. He actually ended up with something stronger. Something to note: if you are going to go down this path, and this seems interesting to you, plus damage is really important on this build because Prime Chamber is a multiplicative damage mod. This is basically like having Galvanized Aptitude always active on this build, except with an additional 20%. So it's just incredibly strong, and that's only for the weapons that have multiplicative gun CO. So disregard that. This mod is going to multiply like ×2 whatever your base damage mods are. So like we have Spectral Serration on this build. This is doing 330% damage. If you know stuff about Warframe, it's technically like 430%. It's just weird. So then with Prime Chamber, it's a multiplier of 4.3. Then with Prime Chamber, the multiplier is going to turn to like 8.6. So this is technically doing 660% damage. And obviously we want to use Spectral Serration because we're playing an Invis Warframe with Evade. That's kind of why Evade became the primary choice. So, I mean, if you're getting like a tally for how expensive this build is, you're probably starting to understand like, holy crap, this weapon better be incredible for the price that we're building up, because we have Prime Chamber, we have a Riven with a very specific like negative that you need to have 3 pluses and a minus. I think I got mine around 50 rolls, and I just kept going for the love of the game. Prey got his in like 27, and it's a way better pluses than mine. Not that mine are bad per se, but it's okay. I am using Prime Shred because this is going to allow this weapon. It already does have Punch Through, but it's going to allow it to become even further into kind of multi-target weapon. Not to mention the fire rate is really nice, especially on a weapon that has 100% ammo efficiency. If I haven't explained it yet, I think I did in the other video, but I haven't in this one. That is my bad. Landing a headshot kill or 4 headshots in one burst grants 100% ammo efficiency for 4 seconds. So this is going to be a buff you always have to keep up, kind of like Evade. Same with your 4th. So this is a really engaging build. You kind of got to be active with it. So we're trying to modify a bunch of different stats. You don't really want to go too many into one category. There are diminishing returns by just using Charge Chamber stacked with Prime Chamber. It technically goes from like a 100% or like a 1x multiplier to like a 1.2 multiplier, and that's like pretty trash. So I don't know, like it just didn't feel worth using, and the damage that I saw was a lot less than what I was doing before. If you want higher crit tiers, guys, and you don't have crit chance on your Riven, a great option is to use Galvanized Scope. But once again, remember, guys, if you don't have this Riven, this build is not possible. But like I said in the intro of this video, there's about 1,000 better weapons for him. This is just a fun idea that Prey had, and I wanted to show it off because I did a Riven video on it. Once again, Prime Shred, target acquired. This is really great for the headshot multiplier. Once again, we're boosting the headshot multiplier with primary deadhead as well, so we're really pushing that up pretty high here. The minus weapon recoil is actually helpful too, and because we're only getting headshot kills, this is just a clear option, a clear winner for me. Vital Sense. Vital Sense just felt like a great thing to go for because with the crit tiers that we're getting, this multiplier is very helpful. Primary Acuity, once again, buffing up that weak point damage and that weak point crit chance. We are not going for a multi-shot build with this. This is what felt best to me, especially on a build that we have to get headshots anyways. Felt like a no-brainer. Prime Chamber kind of making this whole build happen. If you don't have a Riven with this negative or Prime Chamber, this weapon is not going to be too great for you. It's not terrible, but it's not going to be what I'm showing off in this video. Spectral Serration, because it's going to be the biggest multiplier, biggest buff, or biggest damage, base damage mod that gets to take advantage of this 2x multiplier from Prime Chamber. So, yeah, and then we also have Hush. So this is something that I think people don't talk about enough. If you are playing an Invis frame, make sure you're using Hush or Silence. Silenced? What is it called? Suppress. Why is that? Let's show this off. So, when you are Invis, it doesn't mean your guns are quiet still. If you shoot your gun, enemies will attack your last known position. Let's kind of see if I can show that off at all. Why aren't they shooting me? Alright, bad example. Okay. It's a terrible example. Sometimes enemies will shoot your... Oh, you know what? I think it's because the enemy I chose. I think I usually test this against the Exogok stat. So, if I shoot... We dead ass? Okay, guys. So... Holy. Okay. Usually, and in gameplay, the enemies will shoot, like, your last known position. And your last known position is given away by you shooting. So using something like Hush doesn't alert them of your position. So you can just be like permanently invisible and not really have to worry about the enemy shooting at you and it being your fault. It'd have to be like a teammate baiting fire into you. So on this, we are using Hush. And on our secondary, we are using the Press. I took my Riven off for this because this doesn't need a Riven. It's just a really strong weapon anyways. Guys, if you didn't pick up pain points for the Athodai, there's still time to do so. We're not into the new Nightwave yet, but one is coming out for Halloween, so please pick this up, guys. This is 600% weak point damage. That is crazy. That is crazy. It was like bugged at first, I think, and it was doing like more than it was supposed to, or it might still be doing that. And like, so there's like, people are saying it's gonna be more mediocre. That's okay because this thing is literally insane. So let's show it off. This is my build here. Viral heat, pretty simple. Using secondary deadhead for that headshot multiplier and to remove some recoil. This thing also does have 100% ammo efficiency, and this is just really nice to have on Harrow. Because then we're just like constantly taking advantage of that crazy headshot multiplier. Let's show this against some Exo Goxet officers. It's gonna start off kind of rough here, but once we get the buffs built up, you guys are gonna see it is pretty okay, guys. How about we just test this off against the corrupted battle group? We can actually get the buffs up. Okay. It just bodies. It does have like, this is a lot of like temporary buffs on this whole build. Like temporary buff on the infinite fire rate, or like on the fire rate buff and the ammo efficiency buff, but this thing's really strong, and you'll actually see that in the gameplay. It looks pretty trash in here, but it's one of those weapons that performs better in gameplay than it looks like in the simulacrum. Athodai is awesome. I'm pretty sure I showed it off, but if not, there you go, guys. It's a really cool weapon. You're about to see it in action fully. We are using, once again, El Rasho macuin for our movement speed buffs. Don't really worry about my build. The only thing that matters is this, and that's about it. Because it's sprint speed, slide, and parkour velocity. Parkour velocity is a really fantastic thing to have buffed. Companion, we have none on right now, but what I would recommend you guys to use is Wyrm. Reason why I had none on is because they always tamper. I mean, if you guys have seen any of my videos, I always like go to test and like everything dies. Everything dies because I have like the Verglass on or something. But we are using Wyrm, most importantly, with negates. Negate is going to cleanse our status effects. And that is kind of like our source of quote-unquote rolling guard on this build. So definitely going to be pretty necessary because we don't really have a way of cleansing statuses otherwise. Okay. Don't really need Zeneric either because we're getting so much energy with our 3. That part doesn't really matter. Just only thing that matters is like negate on Wyrm. I'm not going to show off. I mean, we'll do it. I mean, here you go, guys. I got a great Verglass Ribbon that can proc Tenacious Bond. You don't need it. It's like, this is so unnecessary. What does matter is this right here. But let's kind of just get onto some gameplay. Hopefully this made sense, guys. Sorry if this was hectic, like I said, and I know I might not sound like I'm in the greatest, most animated mood ever. I'm getting better. I really thank you guys for the kind messages, especially in the Discord server and in the community tabs. But let's get into the gameplay. Let's go hop back onto my Yo, Steel Path Incursion. Let's do it. Nothing like an extra 5 Steel Essence. Get me more Kuva for the next Riven rolling video. I would love to hear some suggestions from you guys on Riven rolling as well. If there's any weapons that you guys particularly... Oh, what is going on? Okay. I haven't seen that in a minute. Okay, I'm just getting text messages. That's my bad, guys. My phone silence isn't working either. It's actually kind of chopped. Okay. Let's get into it. So I do have to wait for my invis to end, or else my 4 isn't gonna like proc. So the way you're gonna want to start a mission, press your 4, animation skip. Then once you've built up enough damage to get max buff, which is pretty much immediately because we're in Steel Path, then you're gonna press your 1. Then you're gonna press your 2. Then like hold out your 3 for like a couple seconds, and we're like good to go. Here we go. Got up our buff on the Perigale. And we're just going to kind of go to town with the Perigale. As you guys can see, these damage numbers are pretty great. And it's all like raw damage. You guys saw there's not really status on this build. Not going to be really any DOTs going on here. I kind of get sick at the full zoom. Like, this is a little sickening to me. So, not really running that. But if you guys want to, you absolutely can. But yeah, this thing kind of shreds. If you want to run Galvanized Scope for prettier crits, you absolutely can. Nothing stopping you. So, like, look, when the buff comes down, that's a pretty important thing to talk about. It is really easy to restore. So, like, losing the 100% ammo efficiency buff really isn't the end of the world, because you're still going to get that prime chamber damage, and we're pretty much killing all these enemies on first bullet impact anyways. This is just a really fun, like, base steel path build. I really like it. It was a really interesting suggestion from Prey, and that's like the type of stuff I just love to see. I have the resources to test stuff out, so if you guys have any crazy, wacky ideas or things you want me to test on the channel, or things that you like personally, like Duality Equinox, which we got a video coming up for on, just let me know, and I will happily post a video on them and try to express what you guys have shared to me and how it's awesome. As you guys can see, yeah, the damage is, like, it's very nice. This thing bodies. Good news is Perigale ribbons are pretty cheap. I don't think this is going to increase the prices of Perigale ribbons either. I'm not, like, a popular YouTuber by any means. But, you know, screw it, bro. I don't need to be popular. You guys have already made me feel, like, very special. I have an awesome community with you guys. Been having so much fun with you guys on the Discord server. Shout out to everybody. You know who you are who's been hanging out in the Discord server. Thank you guys for letting us connect on, like, a level during the... Okay. I can't aim. We don't talk about that. Thank you guys for joining all the streams and being able to connect on more of a personal level through those. That was really fun. Just chatting about whatever, bro. It's been super cool. But yeah, but let's try out the Athodai a little bit. I'm gonna get into this thing. It's a beast. Get our 3 going again, if it matters. Ooh. Yeah. Something to note. I had something pretty important on this. Okay, we might die. That toxin proc did not get cleansed. That's can be a little iffy. So if you guys are at level cap, maybe think about bringing something more than just negate. Rolling guard and negate would be probably the best play. But what was I gonna say? Dude, bro, I kind of forgot. It was kind of important. Oh, the Athodai. Yes, we have punch through modded on the Athodai. That's really important. But you're not, like, with your 100% fire rate just dumping rounds into a dead body. You're just immediately hitting the guy behind him. I mean, look at that thing absolutely body an Acolyte. Just to put in perspective, guys, the Perigale in solo can one-shot the Acolyte too with my specific build. I'm sorry I didn't whip it out right there because, I mean, that is supposed to be the star of the show, but I really like the Athodai, and I kind of want to show this thing off again because I really don't think people are talking about it enough. It's a really good weapon, and this might give me some flack too. I'm not really the biggest fan of the Incarnon weapons. I don't really like having to constantly switch through modes, so weapons that have, like, cool gimmicks where they get, like, 100% fire rate just naturally is really nice. And it's also, I think, fun to go over those weapons because I think they're very interesting. So we're about to fail off life support. I'm getting, like, no kills. Usually this is, like, easily 100 kpm. It's because I'm not, like, set up in a hallway. If you just sit up in a hallway and just have enemies funnel to you, kind of insane. It's kind of elite. With these builds, because we've got, like, crazy punch through on the weapons. Just aim at head level. Both these weapons get crazy buffs on headshot. So yeah, I mean, you guys are seeing how nice the Athodai is with this crazy 100% fire rate and ammo efficiency it gets. And then you pair that with our 2 and it's just, like, heavenly. I love it. I really do. The fantastic weapon. Fantastic Warframe. Harrow's great. Harrow's so great. My goodness. I don't think that needed to be really said too much. It's kind of one of the videos why this, one of the reasons why this video I kept on, like, recording and being like, bro, what am I adding to this? But it's like, you know, sometimes I don't need to always add stuff. The weapon, we're supposed to be going over the Perigale, and we did, and I'm glad I got to do that. Hopefully it doesn't look terrible. And hopefully it gives you guys more of a realistic expectation before you kind of go fall out on this thing. It was kind of just like a fun idea. It's not like the best weapon in the game, but it's a fun option and it's a good option. So it's not like you're going to be at too much of a disadvantage because you can see it's doing really impressive damage and it's going to be able to do any base content. Guys, I really appreciate you guys for watching. Giveaway ends tomorrow. I'll bring that over onto the main screen real quick because I know not everybody knows this. Oh, well. Max in his gaming chair, by the way. Yo, okay, so we've got a Omniforma bundle giveaway with the dual eye-core ribbon. This dual eye-core ribbon was supplied by Outlaw. Come jump in on this, guys. It ends soon. Thank you so much for watching. Next giveaway will happen immediately. We're gonna be doing weekly Forma bundle giveaways every single week forever, hopefully. Because I got the resources for it. We are also going to be doing at milestones more interesting stuff. 500 subscribers, I want to give away a Verglass ribbon. Probably another Omniforma bundle with that. And then obviously, if people want to donate stuff to the cause, it's very greatly appreciated, and those will be happening more often too whenever that happens. So, yeah, I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the patience. You guys have a blessed week, and hopefully we can kind of get back into this a little more full swing. Just kind of give me time to kind of ramp back up again, guys. All right, you guys have a blessed day. Later, everybody.